Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Fivestar Feed. It is good to be back. I am one of your ever loving hosts, Mr. Fish of Mr. Fish Comics, the fastest pen in indie comics. You know who I am. But this is my buddy, Roberto. I am not going to try and butcher your last name. How do you pronounce your last name?
Via Cava.
Via Cabo.
Yes.
And this is my buddy. He has got a book out on Kickstarter right now, A Land of Monsters. Let's pull that up on screen and check that out. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here, man.
Well, this is a kind of little experiment that I wanted to try. It's a short story that you can read full on Kickstarter on that page you are scrolling right now. It's 8 pages, and it's all rewards are digital. You can read it there, and if you like it, you can back it, and there is extra comics you can back too. I have another project called Voyager. There is 6 issues. I'm working on the fourth issue. That's my next campaign. But this story, this is my first thing that I publish myself, writing myself. I'm the artist, and I usually work with the writer. But
Mhm.
this started. It's all experimental. It's the campaign is an experiment, and the script is an experiment too. And I started by drawing it with the prompts of Inktober 2017. So I take the prompts of Inktober 2017, and I was doing panels, but thinking about the story, the narrative. So sometimes I don't I the prompts are lost right now. You can search them if you want, but they are not in the story anymore. I changed a few panels to rearrange and to make sense of the story, but it started as a storytelling experiment, and it ended up as a Kickstarter experiment too. So
That's a really brilliant idea of a way to like kill two birds with one stone, which is something that I really like to do. Like, if I'm going to draw something, even if it's just for fun, I am going to record the time lapse so that I can post it on social media so that I can get some attention. So, like, if I'm going to draw like Captain America just for fun, I'm going to record the time lapse so that I can share it online and try and get some attention. And the turning the Inktober prompts into a story is a really neat idea. And I, as a storyteller, the idea of having to mix all those wild prompts together into a story sounds like so much fun. That sounds like something right up my alley. This is such a cool looking story,
thank
man.
you.
I am. This is such a neat idea to just share it out here and be like, hey, you can support this, and there's some other cool stuff that you can get. I hope this is wildly successful for you, man.
Thank you.
The
I already get the goal, the funding goal, but I put it very low because it's all digital. It's already done, so there is no cost for me. It's the time that I already invested, so you can read it for free, and if you like it, you will help me to get more done, and maybe another experiment in the in the future.
oh man, that's a clever idea, man. I hope it goes wildly successful for you.
Thank
Uh,
you.
oh man, and look at all of the books that you can get too. That's really cool. Um, so tell us, man, how long have you been doing comics?
Uh, like 25 years almost. Yeah, yeah,
That's
well, yeah, around, yeah, more than 20 for sure. Yes.
that's awesome. What got you started? How did you get your foot in the door 20 years ago? Because I mean, it was a very different world 20 years ago to
Yeah.
start trying to do comics. Like I tried self-publishing like 30 years ago, and the barrier to entry was so expensive that I couldn't afford it. Like I needed 10 grand to get started. Uh any printer I could find locally, and it just wasn't possible. But then you fast forward, 25 years, and there were digital printers and stuff that made it cheap. What was it like, 20 years ago working on this stuff?
Well, 20, in the year 2000, I was studying architecture, and I decided to go full in for comics. And and I think my first things that I published myself were Xerox fanzines,
Mm-hmm.
done with the friends. I think we did an anthology. Yeah, we did an anthology called Disciples in Spanish. I grew up in Argentina, uh, and then we did another one called Age for Heroes. Um, and I think there is another title, Mark Wade title, but
Mm-hmm.
Dial Age for that has nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
But um, oh, yeah, that were my first attempts at doing comics, and then I one of my mentors introduced me to agent for an Italian publisher. So I started working for an Italian publisher from yeah for an Italian publisher from Argentina. I, um, I worked for them like for 2 3 years, and they decided to change the model of the company. So they didn't hire me anymore because I was doing like short stories, and they decided to change for serialized stories.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I didn't make my name very big in that time to get job as a regular artist. And then at the same time, I was working for a writer in the US that he had published in Digital Web in an ad. I responded to that ad, and we started doing a collaboration. And the story there was Zombie Highway. There was really fun story, really well written characters. That was really fun. He's
Uh-huh.
still writing. He's still on Kickstarter, so I can't remember the name of his project right now, but he's still going on. His name is Jason Pell.
That's the thing. Like, you make such cool friends in this world, and the very first paying gig I ever got in indie comics was like 2019, I think. So I haven't been doing this all that terrible long as my full time job. I've been an artist since like junior high, but and made my living as an artist doing all kinds of different things, but I've only been doing comics for like the last 7 years. And I think I've worked on, I have to recount, I think it's 136 or 37 books I've done in 7 years now.
Nice.
I've been busy. and, but the very first one I did, I just got hired as an inker. A friend of a friend was sharing, a post on Facebook, and they were looking for an inker, and I think it was paying like $30 a page or something. And I jumped at the chance to be able to get a credit on something to show somebody else besides me that I could know what I was doing. And I got the gig, I killed it, and I made friends with the letterer on that job. We just clicked, we just had a lot of things in common. And he started asking me to ink some pictures he had commissioned by other artists, and then realized I was a decent artist myself and started having me draw some things. Then he had me draw a short story with some of his friends' characters in it, like Fivestar. And next thing you know, all those guys that saw that story hired me to do their next books. And I've been working full time ever since.
Nice. Nice.
It's been wild and great, and I've loved every minute of it and loved the friends that I made with it, like Tony, who is usually on the show with us, but he's a little late getting in. uh Went from being a client that hired me to do Fivestar to being one of my best friends. And then there's people like Lori Calcaterra. I made a post online saying, what are some female creators that we should be following right now? And she was one of the top ones that got suggested that I wasn't already following. And there's only a handful I wasn't already following, but I followed her, and very quickly I realized how smart she was, and I adopted her real quick. And I was like, we are going to be friends now. And I send her stuff all the time. I love the way she incorporates stuff into her books to really get the fans engaged, and puts puzzles and things in there to give like an extra layer of interest to, a playability to the stories. If you're the kind of person
Yes.
that likes to do all the little side quests on a video game, then figuring out this puzzle and calling that phone number and hearing the recorded message is a lot of fun. And I'm that kind of guy. And so we have become a good challenge to each other to constantly upgrade and do better. And yeah, absolutely. Oh, you owe me like $50 for talking you up on the last show, Corey. I got
I think my camera is freeze, but can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, I love all the friends that we've made in this world, and that's been one of the best parts for me. Let's see. She says, "Besties are more like enablers." Absolutely. We all need a good enabler. Man, I really like your artwork on this, man. It is beautiful and solid and interesting and so realistic. And
thank you. That one that you're looking right now is not my art. That's Sergio Carrera.
Okay.
He's a friend of mine. That's mine. That's from Voyager, my other project. Yeah, Sergio is in Argentina, so he cannot access the Kickstarter to do the project. So I do the project, the campaign for him.
Oh.
So that's why he allowed me to put it as a digital reward on my campaign.
I wondered what, like, I just set up my next Kickstarter, and I always wonder when it's like, what country are you from and stuff. I'm always wondering why that was a thing, but I've realized since then that some places can't do it. What is up, Tony Klapper, the classic kid, the Chat 'em Up champion?
Yes,
of
sir.
all people. Here, I'm gonna switch places with you for a minute. Let's see. Lori says, "Ooh, beasties! I love some beasts."
Okay.
Anyway, Tony, this is Roberto. Roberto, this is Tony Klapper, the creator of Fivestar. Roberto had a really interesting idea on this short story. He posted it on Kickstarter, and the whole story is on Kickstarter that you can check out. Okay. And the rewards are digital. So, like, if you like the story, if it's cool, then you can back it and pay. And there's also other digital books that you can get too and add on to it. It's a really interesting idea. I'm hoping this does really well for him because I think it's clever.
So I'm very lazy too, because I don't have to print anything and send anything by mail.
Yeah. So the whole story is already posted on the Kickstarter, so you can read the whole story.
Yes, and that's
right. Okay, and then you're just backing it because you're like, okay, I like this, so let me. Okay, cool.
You're backing my next project, actually.
Got you. Okay.
Oh yeah, isn't that the way it always works? Like, take that money and cycle it into the next one.
Cycle it into the next one for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. But
so that's cool. Yeah, that's definitely a different take for Kickstarter campaigns. I think. So where are we at so far? Like, where are we? How many days we got left? And
I have like 9 days left. It's funded.
Okay.
But yeah, it's the
$14 goal, but you don't need a lot because
the goal is, I thought, well, okay, maybe with 3 people it's already funded, but the thing is with the what do you call it, the post campaign rewards that it's gonna be live forever, so you can keep, if you like it, you can keep back in it.
Well, and that's the nice thing with it being digital. You can leave the late pledges open forever. And
late pledges, that's the word I was looking for.
And not have to keep printing and shipping out books.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I don't even have to set the digital book because I uploaded to the page, the Kickstarter page, and Kickstarter take care of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think that's a new feature.
I haven't done their backer kit aspect, the after whatever they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that yet because it's complicated, and I don't want to fool with complicated. And I like to keep it easy. And I started incorporating like shipping charges into the price of my tier, and just like, this is what you pay domestic, American shipping included. And if it's outside of that, then, here's the charge for that. Mm-hmm. But just to keep it clean and clear and easy to follow, and let people really figure out what it's going to be, because I hate it when you're like, oh, well, that seems reasonable. Yeah, I could get the tier with the T-shirt, and then you realize it's like $50 shipping on top of it. And like, oh yeah, no, I'm not getting the T-shirt. No, I'm going back down to just the single comic. I want people to be able to know what they're getting going in, but I can't get over, man. It's a beautiful looking book. Man.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So what is the? I'm sure you already went over this, but if you had to give me, let's do elevator pitch.
Oh well, it's a medieval setting. It's a mercenary that goes to. He has a mission. He has to rescue somebody.
Okay.
And he encounters all these monsters, and you can read it. I'm not going to say much, but there's
what happens from there.
So it's
classic
like a snake,
knight
a
going
dragon,
to save the princess kind of thing.
You got like a snake monster and a dragon.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah. And then there is some descendants of the serpent.
Nice.
And
a strange figure over there.
And a lot of it started from Inktober prompts a couple of years ago, he was saying earlier.
Yeah.
It changed the monsters from the prompts to different stuff. But that was a really interesting idea. I really like the idea of incorporating the two, killing two birds.
Are you the artist and the writer of the project?
Yes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the prompts are like I feel like I'm instead of drawing by numbers, it's like writing a script by numbers. You have a set points that you have to touch, and you're writing to get there.
Yeah.
For example, the prompt I remember, I think the prompt on when he holds the sword like this, reflecting the eyes of the serpent, is the prompt was reflection, or something like that, and you have to get there from the previous panel, and then gives you somewhere to go.
Okay.
It was fun.
I'm kind of obsessed now with the idea of incorporating that into a comic, because you get such random prompts in Inktober, like, pirate and, clock and this, that, and the other, and like trying to figure out how to make that stuff work together into a short story is really interesting. Our imagination.
You still have to think about the characters, the setting, the genre, sorry, everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just.
Now, do you do commissions also? Are you a commissioned artist? So like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm working with Mark Hay from. What's his page? I can't remember his page right now. I should know.
That's all right.
but I look it up. But yes, his name is Mark Hay. He's in Texas. So he has a page with all my commissions and prices and everything.
Right.
Awesome.
I know these are some of your stuff here.
Yes. Some illustrations, because one of the digital rewards, is my portfolio. So there is a compilation of sequentials and and illustrations. And the comic will have some illustrations too, to complete like 20 pages.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the page layouts and stuff are really clean. The art's clean for sure.
Well, he's been doing this for a long time now, and
Yes.
Okay.
I started working for Italy for the for the Italian market. Then I switched for the French market, and finally now I'm trying to get into the American market.
Okay.
Splash page art is the page where my commission is.
Okay.
You can get my commissions.
Nice. Yeah, man, these pages are clean for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of nice work. That's what really impressed me when I was looking through it earlier today, and
That
I was
if that's work for DC Comics, that page on pencils. The
Okay.
one under it is for the French market. It's a book called I'm trying to translate from French. The Dragon Knights.
Okay. Nice.
mhm.
Yeah, the work's clean, man, for sure. I like the concept of putting the whole book on Kickstarter and just seeing, how it
Yeah,
goes. You put a low
yeah.
enough goal, you hit your goal, and now it's kind of like people just go on here and they back it because they want to support it, and I
Yes,
think
I
it's
think.
a unique take for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. I did it short. I didn't want to make it like 1 month or so. It's maybe a little over 2 weeks and it's done. Because I have done 3 or 4 Kickstarters with all the packaging and sending the emails, and honestly, it's too much work for me that I want to draw.
Yeah.
And I haven't done big Kickstarters. They're modest, and it's already too much work. And if I get big, it's gonna be worse. So I prefer to. Okay, I'll focus on getting work for other people to draw comics for other writers and friends or whatever.
That's the nice part. Like,
Yeah,
it's really fun to get to draw a 5-star and then give it over to Tony and let the people at Freestyle Comics have to worry about packing and shipping boxes and stuff. And I can just shout out the campaign when it's on Kickstarter and make some videos and send some time-lapse drawings. That part's really nice. When it's my stuff, I've got to pack it, ship it, print it. Make T-shirts, all that stuff.
The marketing part is really hard for me too. It's like I don't know. It's like
definitely complicated.
Yeah, and it's been hard to make an audience. So I don't know. I don't know. I have to. I'll be back to Kickstarter soon, but when I'm done with Voyager, that it's 6 issues, I'm working on the 4th issue. When I'm done with that, I'll quit Kickstarter and go back to drawing full time. And maybe when I have extra time and some more funding, more savings, I'll do one again, but on my own.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into Kickstarter. It's a very stressful time period. I mean, if you're doing one that's, you got to hit a goal and it's, 2 weeks or 30 days, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot of stress, a lot of up and down. The first 2 days are cool because it's like your close people are,
all your close ones,
all your buds are going in and backing it first, and then
that's another thing. I moved to Canada like 6 years ago, and all my friends in Argentina, maybe a digital comic they will buy, but not a comic that I have to send from here to there. It's too much. So I have to make my network again. And
so you're pretty much building a whole new network, which can be difficult. And then you hit the little like weird like mid time where it's like you have that lull and you're just kind of hoping and waiting and
I got a new backer. 2 dropped out.
Yes.
Somebody pledged. Cool, we got a big pledge, and then 2 weeks into it, they realized they didn't have that money, and they're like, "Oh, I got to drop that pledge."
Yeah. Well, I suspect I'm not doing this campaign for the money.
Right. Yeah.
It's an experience. I want to see how many people can I add up to my audience without working too much on the marketing side. But I suspect there won't be much dropouts because you already know what you're buying. You're already
Yeah. I mean, the thing about yours is it's like you said, you already know what you're getting. If you backed it at this point, you like know for you it's like a sure thing, right? Like it's like I don't even. I mean, yeah. So you got
the pages are literally right here. You can see they're done. You know you're going to get it. It's not like pay me and hopefully we will finish this someday in the future, which can be really daunting. Like some people go in with the best of intentions, and then realize for the first time just how hard making comics is, or just don't have the attention span to be able to do this stuff. There's so much more to it than just being a good artist and a good storyteller to do like the Kickstarter thing. You've got to be organized. You've got to be able to get packages out. You've got to be able to organize shipments. You've got to be a self-starter, and not just get distracted playing video games all day. Like there's so many things.
There's a lot that goes into it for sure. The whole process is a lot to go. I mean, the before, the during, and the after. Like Kickstarter campaigns and funding is a whole thing.
Here's an interesting question from Lori. Okay, what's your tactics for staying sane during the lull when things get slow? Now, you were saying your campaign's rather short, right?
Yes. Yeah. But who's saying we are sane?
I was gonna say.
There's your first mistake, Lori.
Staying sane might not be the actual thing.
You're making assumptions here, Lori.
I think I can only speak for me, and for I've had successful Kickstarters, and I can tell, for me, it's like I will reach out to other creators and be like, man, what do you got? Like, what are you thinking about this? And I just have that reassurance. Like Michael and Fish are both good people that I can be like, man, I'm stressing out. And they'll both be like, relax, dude. Like, this is how it is. This is how it goes. Like,
this is the sucky part.
This is the sucky part. Like, just chill. And I think the more you do, the better it gets. I think now
you build up a bit of a callus to it.
You've built up a callus to it, and you're like, I know how it's gonna go. Unless it just bombs and it doesn't go, then obviously, that's always a rough one. But like, which luckily I haven't experienced a Kickstarter that hasn't funded, so I will say, I haven't had to experience that, so I can't speak on that. And I'm pretty sure Fish. Either, right? Not
on mine. I have on books I've worked on, which really shocked me. And I was like, oh no, it's over. His book's never going to continue. He's never going to hire me again. That's it. Nobody's going to buy my work anymore. I thought the world was over. And he just retooled and relaunched the campaign like the next day.
Yeah. I think it's all strategy too,
funding in like a week. Because all the original people came back, and he had retooled things a little bit, and it was easier to hit goal. And it never occurred to me that you could relaunch after a failed campaign. I was just, you suck and life's over.
I've seen people like you just said, man. They relaunch. They take a week to kind of gather their thoughts, see what hit, what made sense. Either they go in and they lower the goal, or they go in and say, okay, it seems like a lot of people were making this pledge where these pledges too high and not offering enough. And they just make adjustments and then they relaunch and then they hit it. They hit the goal. So I think to answer your question, I think for one, if you're in comic books, staying sane is out of the question anyway. Two, it's trial and error, and just, it's one of those things like you don't know until you've done it. Right. It's one of those things where like, other people can say, well, it's going to happen. There's going to be a lull. And, like, you're not going to know what to do with it until you've experienced at least once or maybe twice, to where then you're like, okay, I've seen it. I know how it's gonna go,
Mm-hmm.
and then you just kind of
Yeah,
go with that.
and don't let the result of the Kickstarter or whatever define you. It's just one. If you
Yeah,
don't make it once, doesn't mean
yeah,
you're a failure. It's just
yeah. It is
Yeah,
about the
that didn't work, but you can do it.
100%. Lori is absolutely off kilter, which
There
is
you
one of
go.
the things I love about her most.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, Out there in her backyard in a bear suit, chopping things up with
yeah.
machetes and chainsaws.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, I agree with Roberto on that. Like, don't let the campaign that the campaign define or make you feel like, oh man, I can't do this. Or it's all about like, hey, okay, pick it up and go with it. This is what worked, this is what didn't work. And there's a lot of factors that go into people spending money too. Time of
mhm.
year, what's going on, what's the economy like, what holidays am I doing around? So you kind of just, I think you learn quickly, like,
There's so much that goes into it,
yeah.
but also like one of the best things that, like I said earlier, it's like building a callus. You get used to it. Like telling you how to prepare for jumping into ice water for a polar plunge is different than actually having done it. And
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, I know
Yeah.
what to expect. I
You're not
know
gonna know
what
what it
to
feels
brace
like
for.
until you felt what it feels like. Like
But
people
after
can
you've
tell
done it
you.
for a while, it's not nearly as scary and shocking
Yeah,
anymore. And that helps. But also, absolutely does not define your worth. And the other thing that, like Roberto did, shortening the campaign helped
yeah,
me a lot
for sure.
because when you shorten it, you're really cutting out most of that lull.
That
It
low,
might
yeah,
drop a little bit, but like I've done campaigns that were like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and there's much less quiet time in the
yeah,
middle in those to have to suffer through. I'm doing longer campaigns now just because I know I only have so much bandwidth myself to be on podcasts. Hey, it's your Uncle Fish. Go check out my Kickstarter.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right now. Get the Roll for Hero handbook. I can only do so much of that a day, a week, and still get any other work done. Like I
yeah,
have to finish coloring pages for Lori right now, and I've been busy streaming all day.
yeah,
So I've gone back to stretching it out to about 3 to 4 weeks, just so I can do a little bit less. I can do what I can afford to do
yeah,
emotionally, physically, going on podcast and pitching and doing videos and all that stuff, and get enough of that work done to get the word out enough to get enough people in.
yeah,
And part of that trade-off is I have to deal with more of a lull, but that's okay. If I could just spend all day pitching the book,
yeah.
that would be one thing, but then I'm not
Well,
doing
yeah.
pages for Lori and making money to pay my mortgage. So,
Well, that comes from just being, you know what I mean? That comes from just doing them. Obviously, once you've done so many, you're going to know what works for you. Like Roberto said, he's trying this out. This is a trial and error. He's trying to see what this does. If this ends up only raising, I don't know, what are you at right now?
48, I think
If
is what I
this
Yeah,
quoted.
only ends up doing
yeah,
$48 and he gets no more from it, I'm sure he's going to be like, okay, maybe I need to pivot a little bit. Maybe I need to figure something else out.
Hit that
And the more he
$60 mark,
does,
baby.
he knows. The more he does, he's gonna know. It's like Fish. Yeah, Fish could do a 2 week campaign, but he's done them enough to where he knows he's more comfortable with a 30-day campaign.
And it wears me out.
Yeah,
And I need to be able to do other stuff too.
yeah,
I don't have the freedom to just pitch books all day.
yeah.
But speaking of doing something new, launching in August is the Roll for Hero handbook and mini comic campaign with your
Nice.
Uncle Fishy from our Wednesday show, Roll for Hero, which you probably don't know, Roberto, but it's a show that I do with my buddy Esteban, and we roll up random prompts with the dice, get a random series of prompts for a character, and then we create a new superhero or something on the
Yeah,
spot,
pretty
draw
cool.
it.
Oh,
It's a lot
nice.
of fun. You should come on sometime, man. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
totally.
And
Yes.
we made a handbook to go with it that has all of the tables and charts in there for you to be able to roll up your own characters
Nice.
and explanations for like I tried to put some good explanations in there for like, what do you do if you get two things that don't seem to work together? Like you get an evil character with a sense of justice as their motivation. Well, that's a good like Doctor Doom that, you know, thinks the world is better under their control. Or if you get like a villain that's only in it for the glory, you know, they might get mad and leave if the reporters don't show up to the bank robbery and just like, well, if nobody's going to watch me have hostages, what's the point? And walk away. Like Skeletor strikes me as a villain that's truly evil, but only doing it for attention. Like it's not good enough to be the most evil. Everybody needs to know that I'm the most evil. And so there's lots of charts and stuff in here to roll up cool characters for fun and inspiration. And we're going to be doing a mini comic. So everybody that backs the comic from the digital level on down is going to get links sent to you in your Kickstarter messenger. I'm going to be sending out links every time we do a live stream, and you can come hang out on the live stream. We're going to be rolling up new characters. We're going to be coming up with the names, designing them, and we're going to decide together as a group who's going to be in the book, what the story's going to be about, who's going to win and lose. It's going to be fun. And if you've ever wanted to like see behind the scenes in making a comic, all the way from like creating the characters to actually like printing and stapling and binding like Ashcan comics yourself, then this is going to be a really great way to walk through it, experience it, hold them in your hand at the end of it, and be able to say, hey, I came up with the name for that dude, and I'm the reason he got a chair to the face in this scene. You know, that's going to be cool.
Did you print that yourself?
Cool. Yeah. The point of the Kickstarter is I want to do a big print run for these, and you know, do like a really big print run, so I can bring the price down cheap and make it an affordable thing to give away at shows to kids and stuff. And be like, you know, hey, sign up for the email newsletter and you can get a free comic. But for the Kickstarter backers, I'm going to be printing them myself and trimming them in the whole 9 yards, doing that all on live stream and sending those out. So they'll get out quicker, because doing an offset print run is going to take like 2 months for those to get in. But being black and white is going to help bring the price down. But it's a lot of fun. These are some of the crazy characters we designed on season 1 of the show, and this is a sample. It's probably not going to be Space Ape, but a lot of the people that watch our show regularly have been encouraging me to do a Space Ape story, and I really want to do that book, but it's going to be what the backers want, and but it's an example, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So go to gomrfish.com and click the notify me button. Everybody in the chat, go do it, and I can probably get the number to show up finally, because I'll be over 10 people. So you know, Lori, go click notify me. Yes, it does look fun, Lori. And I need you to draw a holy hail and dad work. Yeah, it's actually Road Work is his name, but it got cropped off in the book I'm doing for her. There was room in the background, so of course I put wanted posters, and I made up bad guys for these guys based in Texas. And one of the guys I named Road Work for all the construction in Texas, but it cropped it off, and you only see the part of the AD, you know, work. So it looks like dad work, and I may just rename him now. Why not? But anyway, so.
No, that looks fun, man. That looks like a fun project, and I mean, you guys, that show is fun to watch, and it's cool because you guys are so creative when you're doing the show. So, I think that's awesome.
And every single show, we come up with a new character that I really want to do a story about, and I really want to make like a new comic about. Some of them, like this chick right here in the green, Medusa, and this American Eagle dude in the background, I really want to do a story about them. This guy in the foreground with the magic was such a random roll of stuff. He had so many different powers, and he had like the skill of like first aid. Randomly had the first aid skill along with all of these crazy powers that didn't really make sense together.
Okay.
And as I was thinking about it, I was like, this almost sounds like Doctor Strange to have that many different abilities, like to be able to fly and see the future or whatever. And then it hit me. The Mystic Medic. He's like an EMT that goes out in a world where there could be vampires and zombies and werewolves, or it could be a gunshot. You don't know until you show up and this dude's bleeding. And is it a gunshot, or is it a werewolf bite, or is it a zombie bite? And you got to try and treat this guy while keeping an eye on your periphery. Are there zombies coming over the corner? And to be prepared to deal with whatever's coming your way, magically or physically, and not knowing what the shift's going to bring. I think that would be such a fun book to do with all these little frantic short stories of going on all these different calls. And what do you do when like the regular that you get called for all the time because he's overdosing all the time, he's a nice guy, he's just got a drug problem and keeps overdosing. Like, what do you do when he gets bit by a zombie and now he turns, but he's still kind of a cool dude? And like, what do you I just think it'd be so much fun. I think it'd be such a fun story.
Yeah,
I'm definitely watching the show.
This is
Roberto, you got to jump in and maybe you can get in on the action of drawing.
Oh yeah, characters. We'd love to have you on, man.
And it's funny because I have a podcast that it's similar in the idea, but instead of character we draw, we chat with the guest and we create a page from scratch.
Nice.
We did a full year, and now the second year my co-host it's been doing some others. He grow his comic, his Pesto Comics, Adriano, and he been doing a lot of things. So now we are not doing guests. We're doing some guests from time to time, but I'm doing the podcast alone, and I'm drawing and creating the page from scratch. And I decided that I'm continuing the story from one episode to the other. So I'm creating a story as I go. I'm not taking guests unless it's Adriana with me because I cannot talk and draw at the same time.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So when I'm alone, the podcast might be a little boring because I draw, and when I remember I have an audience, I speak a little bit, but I'm mostly drawing.
I feel bad because I had several creators, several comic creators hit me up and be like, dude, I'd love to come on Roll for Hero. And I'd be like, oh, you can draw? And they're like, oh, no, I'm just a writer. I was like, well, like, that's what we do on the show is draw. And it just didn't seem to make sense to me. But I had my buddy TS that co-writes Alice Lost in Wonderland with me on a couple of times, and he can draw, and he has before on the show, but the last couple of times he just came on and just chatted. And I realized it was so much easier to carry on a conversation when one of the people isn't nose down drawing the whole time, and he could keep an eye on the comments and reply to people's comments as they come in and stuff, where I was always on our show, like, we'll be having a lot of fun talking, and then it'll get real quiet because we get really focused on what we're drawing for a second.
Yeah.
And
so if I get a request from an artist, I'll send it to you, and you have a writer, you send it to me.
But I'm definitely going to start opening it up to more writers too, because like me and Lori could have a good time on there chit-chatting, talking about Path of the Pale Rider, and come up with some cool character that we roll up together. And we could still have fun. And she doesn't have to be able to draw to do it. I'd be curious what she did draw, but anyway, I'm going to be more open to it because, like you said, it gets quiet. I used to do one by myself, and it got weird.
Yeah,
when I don't have anybody to talk to, I start getting goofy and talking in lots of silly voices to myself and stuff.
That's what's up. Well,
Bet
guys,
you can
I'm
draw.
sorry I came in late, but I knew Fish would hold it down. I got stuck in a business meeting. I was at a restaurant and I looked down and was like, "Oh, I need to be getting out of here." And then it was like we were waiting on our check, and then we had to check out. And Fish was like, "You coming?" And I'm like, "I'm trying to get there." So, but hey, we're here. Um, Sorry that I didn't catch all the conversation. But I'm definitely interested in following some of your work and even uh, talking to you about maybe doing some page work, some page stuff, because your art is clean for sure.
Oh
Uh,
man, so nice. It
so
is.
yeah, if
I don't get to say that all the time about all the indie comics that we see.
yeah,
So if I'm gushing about your artwork, it's just because I really do appreciate it. It's nice, beautiful, solid, dependable
yeah, it's
work,
nice for
and
sure,
I
Appreciate it.
that is refreshing to see.
for sure.
I really like that.
Another news: September 12th is Fivestar Comic Con Middletown. So for you guys that tune in and know about Fivestar Con, definitely put that in your calendars, mark it down. It's going to be a 1 day show. It's going to be a fun day show. It's going to be probably a packed out show because it's going to be 1 day.
Mhm.
So we're excited about that, and we're getting things under together with it, and that's what a business meeting I had. I've been meeting with a lot of local community stuff, trying to get some different community partners in Milltown. So it's going to be fun, and I'm about to be locking in some of these guests. So we'll be announcing them very soon, right here, probably on the Fivestar feed, and hopefully having them come on the show also. So stay tuned for all that. If you haven't, go to gomrfish.com right now and hit that notify me button so you can get in on Fish's new podcast Kickstarter. Go check out Roberto's Kickstarter,
A Land of
A
Monsters.
Land of Monsters. Let's get that up past 48. Come on, guys, you got it. He's got 10 backers. I'd like to see him get like 25
all of
backers.
that is really easy to spell and remember. So I expect everybody watching to go check out A Land of Monsters on Kickstarter.
Yes, I want just a note that you asked me before for commissions, and I was thinking for One Piece original art. But if you were asking about commission art for a comic, that you can contact directly to me.
Oh, okay.
To
Cool.
Creation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Now that you talk about that,
Sure, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'll get your info from Fish and shoot you a message.
Speaking of Roberto, where is the best place for people to follow you online to keep up with your stuff?
Well, my webpage is robertoviacabaillustration.com, and I'm on Instagram, on X, and maybe somewhere else that I can remember right now. But the easiest way is to go to my webpage and go to the links there, because I'm not Roberto Viacaba Illustration on everywhere. I was when I found out that some other social media I entered and put a new name, so maybe it's Viacaba Roberto on Instagram, Roberto Viacaba on X. My name on different ways.
Okay, cool. Check out FivestarComicCon.com. Check out GoMrFish.com. We like to end the show with saying, continue to be a 5-star version of yourself. Keep grinding, keep killing it. If you're planning on doing a Kickstarter, don't get discouraged in that low point. And we'll see you next time. Thank you, Roberto, for joining. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Keep doing it great.
Absolutely. We'll see y'all later.
See ya.